Today, our topic is the Stoic secret to building discipline. Discipline is not just about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's about understanding what truly matters and aligning your actions with your values. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, knew this well. They believed that discipline is the key to living a good life, not because it makes you perfect, but because it helps you face challenges with clarity and strength. Let's explore how Stoic philosophy can help us build discipline in our own lives. First, let's talk about what Stoicism really is. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. The Stoics believe that external events like what people say about us, or whether we succeed or fail, are not in our control. What is in our control is how we respond to these events. This idea is the foundation of Stoic discipline. When you learn to focus only on what you can control, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You become more focused, more resilient, and more disciplined. Discipline starts with understanding your mind. The Stoics believe that our thoughts shape our reality. If you think something is hard, it will feel hard. If you think something is impossible, it will seem impossible. But if you train your mind to see challenges as opportunities, you can change how you experience life. For example, instead of saying, "I have to wake up early," you can say, "I get to wake up early and make the most of my day." This small shift in thinking can make a big difference in how you approach discipline. Another Stoic principle is to embrace discomfort. The Stoics believe that comfort is the enemy of growth. When you always seek comfort, you become weak. But when you embrace discomfort, you build strength. This doesn't mean you have to suffer for no reason. It means you should be willing to do hard things when they are necessary. For example, if you want to get fit, you have to be willing to exercise even when it's tiring. If you want to learn a new skill, you have to be willing to make mistakes. Discipline is about doing what's right, even when it's hard. The Stoics also taught the importance of setting clear goals. Without a clear goal, it's easy to lose focus and waste time. But when you have a clear goal, you can direct your energy toward what truly matters. For example, if your goal is to become a better writer, you need to write every day. If your goal is to save money, you need to avoid unnecessary spending. Discipline is about making choices that align with your goals, even when it's tempting to take the easy path. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is negative visualization. This means imagining the worst-case scenario and preparing yourself to face it. For example, if you're afraid of failing, imagine what failure would look like. What would you do if it happened? How would you recover? By thinking about these things in advance, you take away the fear of the unknown. You realize that even if things don't go as planned, you can still handle it. This practice builds mental toughness and helps you stay disciplined, even in difficult situations. Another key Stoic idea is to focus on the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only moment you truly have is now. When you focus on the present, you can give your full attention to what you're doing. This is especially important for building discipline. It's easy to get distracted by regrets about the past or worries about the future. But when you focus on the present, you can take concrete steps toward your goals. For example, if you're working on a project, focus on the task at hand instead of thinking about how much work is left. This makes it easier to stay disciplined and avoid procrastination. The Stoics also believed in the power of routine. A good routine helps you build habits that support your goals. For example, if you want to be more productive, you can create a morning routine that includes time for planning, exercise, and reflection. If you want to be healthier, you can create a routine that includes regular meals, exercise, and sleep. The key is to stick to your routine, even when it's hard. Over time, these small, consistent actions add up to big results. One of the biggest obstacles to discipline is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. The Stoics believe that fear is often worse than the thing we're afraid of. When we face our fears, we realize they're not as scary as we thought. For example, if you're afraid of public speaking, the best way to overcome that fear is to practice speaking in front of others. The more you do it, the less scary it becomes. This is how you build discipline by facing your fears and taking action, even when it's uncomfortable. Another important Stoic principle is to accept what you cannot change. Life is full of challenges and setbacks. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. When you accept the things you cannot change, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, getting angry won't change the situation. But if you accept it and use the time to listen to a podcast or reflect on your day, you can turn a frustrating situation into a productive one. This kind of acceptance is a key part of Stoic discipline. The Stoics also believed in the importance of self-reflection. Every day, take a few minutes to reflect on your actions. Did you stay true to your values? Did you make progress toward your goals? What could you do better tomorrow? This practice helps you stay aware of your behavior and make adjustments as needed. It's a way of holding yourself accountable and staying disciplined. Finally, the Stoics taught us to remember that life is short. This might sound depressing, but it's actually a powerful motivator. When you realize that your time is limited, you become more focused on what truly matters. You stop wasting time on things that don't align with your values or goals. You become more disciplined because you understand that every moment is an opportunity to make a difference. In conclusion, the Stoic secret to building discipline is about focusing on what you can control, embracing discomfort, setting clear goals, and staying present. It's about facing your fears, accepting what you cannot change, and reflecting on your actions. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about making small, consistent choices that align with your values and goals. When you approach life with a Stoic mindset, you become stronger, more resilient, and more focused. You learn to face challenges with courage and clarity. And that is the true power of discipline.